Hello.
Let's go. Let's go.
Good morning.
I just like it because they be like, let's go, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Oh man. I'm trying to find our picture.
Where did
This is
Nicci
so
go?
annoying. Hmm. Oh, here we go.
There she goes. Oh, you put your camera on.
With me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I didn't mean to. I'm in the chats like telling them that we are live at everyone. Let me share this. It won't even let me share it. Okay.
Not check because I'm editing it.
Okay.
It won't let you share when I'm editing. Hi.
Oh no, I'm just in the chats just saying that we're live. So they can start, coming on if they want to. Mm, 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 mm. I don't know why that song is in my head. Y'all know that song called Soul Food? Come and get your soul
I said
food.
you gotta
All right.
sing it with all your heart. Sing it, Queen. Sing it.
Yo, that's crazy. Come and get your
Your soul food.
Yeah, come and get your
Lighter, if
soul
y'all didn't know it,
food.
that's
All right. Huh? What you say?
somebody.
I don't know why that song's in my head. It was like the beat just don't.
No, that's that other beat.
Right, that's that nasty beat. I don't know why that song is in my head. Don't pay me no mind. It's still early in the morning. You know,
Okay, you can
it's
turn your
it's
camera back
still
on,
early.
Queen.
Oh gosh,
You
I'm
gotta turn your
sorry,
camera
y'all.
back on.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm coming.
We are live.
Oh, it was off. My
Morning,
bad.
good morning. Yeah,
Good
people
morning.
want to
Good
see
morning.
you.
I'm here.
Yeah, they want to see you.
I'm here. I'm here. Here. I'm
Didn't we
here.
tell you we
I'm
promised, Ceateetra? Didn't we promise last week
We
that
did. We
Nicci
told
was
them to be
coming back?
back. We did. We
Yes.
definitely did.
You were patient, and now you're rewarded with Queen Nicci's
I
presence.
know. Sorry, guys, that I was not of attendance. I was dealing with medical issues, but I'm here now.
Well,
I'm still
you
Yes,
had to
here.
make sure she was present.
and we are
Yes.
glad to have you with us, Queen.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, we are already 7 minutes in, so I think we should go ahead and probably jump into it. Good morning to our team and those who are joining us this morning. Aziz, Destiny, Jennifer, Kier, they up early with us. Thank you for joining the live with us this morning. We definitely appreciate you all. So
Yes, good morning.
thank
Good
you.
morning.
I'm just gonna
Yes. Good
jump
morning.
right
Good
in.
morning.
All right, so
Hey.
we try to give a little time, but we got to jump right in because the Queen's got things to do, especially Ceateetra
Yeah.
and Miss Nicci. They booked and busy, so we gotta
Right.
get things rolling here. So I just want to say welcome again to our listeners. Thank you for joining the Tips and Tea Live. Today we're going to be exploring high yield savings accounts. And just welcome back to those who've been, coming in each and every week and is supporting us with our lives. We try to provide the best tips we can on managing your finances, improving your credit, and so much more, right? Even starting your business and getting funding and whatnot. Now, my name is Shantella
Right.
Shabazz, for those who don't know me, and I'm also joined with our also incredible queens, Miss Ceateetra Booker and Miss Nicci Taylor. Say hello, queens.
Hello,
Hello.
how is everybody doing today?
Good morning. Good morning. So, we're all affiliated with No Bay Money, who offers a variety of platforms of financial services, products, and tools, but we also run our own businesses. So, we are consultants with No Bay, but we're all CEOs in our own right of our own businesses, whether it be real estate, whether it be product launching, whether it be just running the world, right? So, we just want
Right.
to come to you and share our personal stories and journeys and what we've been through to kind of help you skip some certain steps that you might not necessarily have to take because we've been there, we've done that. So we're trying to make sure our audience, our family, our friends don't have to go through the same things that we have. Right. So last week, we actually talked about some business debt. We covered a lot of things. And we also, because, well, that was the week before we kind of covered business debt, but we kind of went over about personal credit. We talked about starting a business. We went over some questions because Queen Nikki wasn't able to join us, but we just did like a recap, right? Of things that
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about in some of our prior episodes. So if you get a chance, definitely go back and check out some of our previous lives that covered personal credit, starting your own business, funding, debt help, and so on, right? So we're just going to jump right in and just kind of give you some queen tips, like we like to call it, some queen tips. So today's episode, like I mentioned before, we're covering exploring high yield savings accounts. And I just want to make sure that a lot of people know what it is because I'm finding that talking to a few people, they're not too certain. They've heard of it, but not quite sure exactly what it entails when it comes to these
Mm-hmm.
high yield savings accounts. And there's a little bit of just not knowing enough information, or you've seen a commercial, but you're just like, oh, okay, it's just another product, right? But it's actually a really good beneficial product for those who might not be ready to get their feet wet into jumping into
Right.
investment accounts. But a high yield savings account is a type of account that offers significantly higher interest rate compared to like a traditional savings account. So your traditional savings accounts are typically with a Chase Savings or Bank of America. These accounts are typically offered by online banks, credit unions, fintech companies, which can afford to pay higher rates because they have lower overhead costs. So mostly when you come across high yield savings accounts, they are online banking institutions. They don't have a brick and mortar that they have to keep up
Mm-hmm.
expenses for. That's why they can offer such great interest rates. But, with these high yield savings accounts, do know that they have to be linked back to a brick and mortar bank. So it's not like
Mm-hmm.
it's a made up bank that somebody just created on online one day. No, they're still linked to a financial institution for backing, right? Now, some key features with high yield savings accounts is that most of the time they do pay you higher interest rate than your typical standard banking center, right? And they can range from 2% all the way up to 6% currently right now, depending on which savings account that you sign up for. Most of these are FDIC insurance. Just do your due diligence and make sure you're double checking on these. And when I say FDIC insured, that means if you have an account with them and something was to happen, a banking system fails, something goes out of business, whatever money that you have in the account is covered by insurance for most of these centers up to $250,000, which means your money is
Mm-hmm.
definitely in a safe place. So it's still standard, just like a regular banking center. Your money is covered just in case anything happens up to $250,000. So if you got some millions and millions of dollars, you probably should be spreading it around. Don't keep all your money in
Right.
one account. But if you have some millions and millions of dollars, let me borrow a couple money. I'm ready.
Right.
so, so accessibility, I want to talk about that as well too, because a lot of people are like, well, is my money locked up? Can I get access to it? You can. These are just like if you do online banking with your bank. You transfer
Mm-hmm.
money. A lot of the different banks out there, high yield savings accounts, they have access to local ATMs. So I believe our queens are going to cover it and do a deeper dive into that information as well. But just know your money's not locked away once you put it into a high yield savings account. And then as far as minimum balance requirements, it varies from institution to institution, but a lot of them don't have a minimal balance requirement, right? And you still get to earn a high interest rate without having to
Right.
have certain restrictions, right? So I'll just say like we did last week, I think Ceateetra definitely brought it up in one of our promos when she mentioned like your average savings account only offers you 0.01%. Not
Right.
1%, 0.01%.
01.
That's your average
Right.
savings account. Well, a lot of these high yield savings account, you're earning a minimum 2%. One of the promos that we have through one of the high yield accounts that we offer right now is offering 4.6% on an annual basis. So
Mhm.
just keep that in mind. So I just want to make sure people were clear on what a high yield savings account is and just some of the key features of it. Now, Ceateetra, you want to go ahead and drop your tip for today? Because I know they just salivating, waiting for you to go ahead
Salivating.
and
All
salivating.
right, Queen. So my tip for today is how to choose the right high yield savings account. So choosing the right high yield savings account is very important, and it's a decision that you want to take seriously to ensure that your money is growing effectively. So
Mm-hmm.
some things that you might want to take into consideration when looking into a high yield savings account is you want to compare the interest rates. So an APY, which stands for annual percentage yield, you want to look for the highest percentage yield, so that way your money can grow. The higher the APY, the more your money is going to grow. You want to check for fees and minimum balance requirements. Some monthly maintenance fees that are associated with the accounts, they possibly could eat up your interest. So you want to definitely make sure that you are looking into that. You want to
Yeah.
consider, like Shantella mentioned earlier, the account's accessibility. So ease to transfer money, being able to access the money. I know one time I had a high yield savings account and you could only access it twice a month. So you just want to make sure that you're doing your due diligence in reading up on this stuff. You know, reading is fundamental. You want to read all the fine print. You want to also look at online and mobile access to ensure that your bank offers user-friendly apps or websites. And then another thing that Shantella mentioned, FDIC insured. You want to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
it's covered, and you want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that your funds are going to remain safe. So another thing, check and see if your account is offering customer service, because you do want to be able to speak with someone if you have questions about your money. And let's see here. Also, you want to check and see if the bank is offering a promotion and see how that's going to affect you going forward after that promotional period is over. Because sometimes they will give you a nice promotion, and then after that, you're like, oh man, that really didn't seem as great as it is. So
Right.
make sure you read your fine print, go over your terms and conditions, so that way you can carefully decide and evaluate which high yield savings account works best for you. Just make sure
Yes.
you keep those key factors in mind. Yes. And Nicci, what is your tip for today, Queen?
Oh. Well, okay. Well, I didn't know it was my turn, but okay.
Oh, she
No,
was
I'm
coming.
just
She like,
playing.
are y'all ready for this?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, well, my tip for today is when is the right time to open up a high yield savings account and compare it with the savings, the savings and investments options, right? So
Mhm.
the right time to open up a savings account, it depends on your situation, your financial situation, your goals, things of that nature. And you actually want to actually take in consideration of different scenarios, right? Like so like emergency funds and short-term goals and low risk options and interest rate environments. So that's like one part of it. But the comparing part, when you're comparing the high yield savings account to other, with other options, you actually have the traditional savings account. Say like the high yield savings accounts is has a higher offer, on the interest rates than the traditional savings accounts, right? So of course they got the certificate of a deposit like CDs. I don't know if anybody knew about that, but that's what that means when you have the CDs. That means that security, not security, but certificate of deposit. And the high yield savings accounts are often or more liquid than the CDs, which require locked funds for a rest for like the reset of the term. So, and then not only that, you have money market accounts. You got high yield savings accounts often offer high interest rates and easier access to funds than market accounts. Also in investments like stocks and bonds, like you have high interest savings accounts, like again, are generally low risk and more liquid than investments, but may offer lower returns over the long term of the investment. So before you actually, want to do the savings account, before you actually want to open the high yield savings account, you got to keep these things in consideration, like the interest rates, the fees, the liquidity, and the FDIC, the minimums, the mobile bankings. Like, you want to consider qualifying the bankings like the mobile apps. Ultimately, a high yield savings account is a great option for a short term goal, though.
It
Emergency
is.
funds, low risk savings, but you always want to evaluate your individual's circumstances and financial goals before deciding. So that's what my tip is for today.
Yeah, if you save
Um,
money for a car, like she mentioned, short-term goals,
yeah.
save money for a
Right.
car, or you want to save money for a
Down payment
trip,
home.
this is money you're not going to touch. So, Nicci,
Hmm.
you're making some great points here, especially with that. It's like if you have these short-term savings goals, why keep it in a regular savings account where you're barely earning any interest on it? Put
Exactly.
it in a high
You want
yield
to grow
savings
Exactly.
interest
account if you're
on it.
not touching it anyway. Yeah, if
Hmm.
you notice yourself, you've been consistently saving money over a period of time without touching it, then you know you're ready for a high yield savings account. That's one of the key things right there. So definitely, let me get out the way. I've been talking too much.
No, Queen, never. Never, 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 never.
What's the teacher? You want to elaborate? You want to summarize on what the Nove promos of SoFi checking and savings account does?
Sure. Well, we are currently offering a high yield savings account yielding 4.6% interest. The account is free. The minimum deposit is $50 to start the account. But in order to unlock the 4.6% interest, you do either have to make a qualifying deposit of up to $5,000, or you can set up direct deposit. And a qualifying direct deposit would be, for example, like an ACH payment coming from your payroll, like government benefits, your pension, things of that nature. It has to be a regular, ongoing payment in order to secure that 4.6% interest. And also another thing that I did like about it, you do get a checking account, and there's vaults on there. There's different ways to save money. It's something that's really good to look into. Like she said, if you've been consistently saving and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, so that way you can let your money work for you. I would much rather put $1,000 in the bank and then go back later and that money has accrued some interest, then
Yeah.
go back and it's still the same amount. In this day and age, you got to have to make your money work for you. And another thing that I did not mention with this promotion, there is an option or a chance to receive a bonus if you do make a qualifying deposit of $5,000 or more, or if your deposit is up to $5,000 within 30 days, you do receive a bonus of $300. So if
Okay.
you are interested, or you think that a high yield savings account is something that you may be interested in, you can definitely get with myself, Ceateetra Booker, Nicci Taylor, Shantella, Shabazz. We would definitely love to help you and help educate you on picking some things that'll put you in a better place.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know
I
about y'all,
mean,
Queen. Did you guys get that 4.6% interest? Because I know I did.
Oh, yeah.
yes, yes,
Well,
and
yeah.
yes.
Definitely want
I'm
to
a
have
product of
those.
the product.
Yes,
Yeah, you want
ma'am.
to be the
Product of
product
the
of the
product.
product now. At least for us, right? We got to be the
Yes.
product of the product. Come on now. I mean, that's what we here for.
Yes.
So,
We not only talk the talk, we walk the walk
yeah,
too.
we walk the walk as well. Hello.
Yeah, we don't
Hello.
recommend anything that we haven't tried, because we don't want to put our clients, our friends, our families out there with
Right.
just
Hmm.
anything. We want to make sure this is something that works, that is reliable, and we also forgot to mention that you also earn interest on your checking account. So teacher mentioned that it comes with a checking account too with SoFi, but
Yes,
not
it
only do
does.
you get a checking account, like a lot of high yield accounts, you get a checking and a savings, but you also earn 0.5% interest on your checking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So typical bank accounts, you don't earn interest on your
No,
checking
you
account,
don't.
only on your savings. So that's a key thing. Make check them out. If you like they mentioned before, like the teacher mentioned, please make sure you reach out to us, find out more information about SoFi, all the different promos and benefits that it's offering. You don't want to miss out because, as you know, promos don't last always. So you keep waiting, you're
That.
going to miss out on a great opportunity and a way to make money while you're sleeping. Your money can
Mm-hmm.
actually be making money for you while you're sleeping. So let me just throw
Yeah.
that in there again, real quick.
Absolutely.
Also,
Absolutely.
too, people that are using Chime and Cash App as your bank account, hey, it's a new sheriff in town. So far, you better come and get with it.
Exactly. Look,
Yes.
let's go. Let's go.
Unfortunately, a
Look.
lot of places don't accept Chime or Cash App. There's still some places out there that don't accept them. They want you to have a FDIC insured account, like a standard banking
Right.
account or a high yield. So this is giving you an opportunity, especially with SoFi, because they're not running the standard checking system when it comes to setting up these accounts. So if you had
Mm-hmm.
a problem with opening an account in the past, you wasn't able to open a Chase account due to credit or things like that, or just previous experience with other banks, you have a good
Hmm.
chance of possibly getting one with SoFi. So I will say
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but we have been seeing people who've had trouble in the past getting regular bank accounts getting qualified with SoFi.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Well, ladies, well, now we're on our question segment of our tips and tea episode. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Shantella. Like, what are some of the common misconceptions that people have about high yield savings accounts, and how can we address them?
Well, there's a lot. I've been getting a lot of just questions. Well, I heard this, I heard that. And it's good because, if you all know me, y'all know I love questions. I say ask a question. I'd rather you ask than just assume certain things or just go on not knowing. So don't be fearful. Please be brave. Don't feel like you can't ask. There is no dumb questions. There's none. Just go ahead and ask it. But a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, they feel like because it says high yield, that there's risk involved, that it's higher risk than having a standard account or investing in the stock market. It's the complete opposite. Honestly, like we mentioned before, these are FDIC insured banks. Make sure you're picking the right one that is, because there are some out there that are
Right.
not.
Mm-hmm.
But these are FDIC insured accounts. Even if the market drops and say your interest rate does go down a bit, your money is not going to go down like it is in the stock market. You don't lose any money if the interest rates drop. You don't lose any money if stocks drop. Your money will stay the same and continue to earn interest in these savings account. It's a safe investment strategy that you can use over either short term or long term, depending on what your preference is, right? So that's one of the key things I want to definitely put out there. And
Yeah.
then also that I will say people also think that once you lock in a certain rate with these high yields accounts, that it's going to remain the same. It's going to be consistently high. That is not the case. Just like anything else,
Mm-hmm.
promos change, interest rates change, even in the stock market, stocks fluctuate up and down every
Oh,
day,
yeah.
every hour, every minute. So you have to keep in mind that these things do fluctuate. It might be a period of time, even with CDs, where you get a certain interest rate, but after a certain time, that interest rate might change. It might drop down. What was good for today might not be good for tomorrow. So
Exactly.
definitely keep an eye on the interest rates. This company might be offering something here, the next one over here might be offering something better, but they do fluctuate. It's not a standard rate all the time, right? But it's
Mm-hmm.
still better than the regular standard, right? And then I would say another big one is this, like I mentioned before, accessibility, that I won't have access to my money because it's an online account. SoFi, the one that we utilize, has access to over 55,000 ATMs. You can transfer money easily because it's an online app that you can transfer money between accounts to your
Mm-hmm.
regular bank account. If that's what you want. So accessibility is fine. Now, you have to also, I would say, definitely watch some of these accounts when it comes to fees. There's some ones that don't have any minimum balance requirements, so they don't charge you any fees, but there are some out there depending on how much interest that they're offering you. So typically the ones with the higher interest rates that they're offering, they have more stipulations to have an account with them. So there may be some fees involved. Just keep an eye on that. Just because this account over here is offering you no fees, no minimum balances, doesn't mean this completely different high yield savings account is offering you the same. So, like Ceateetra mentioned, you got to read. You got to
Yeah.
read, do your due diligence, make sure you're reading all the fine print. That's why I have my glasses on because we were rereading a lot of things this morning. So
Yeah.
check me out.
We all got our glasses on today, spectacles, okay?
I know. Look, I'm trying to keep mine up on my face.
Like you can see, it's bigger than these big old glasses I have
I
on,
know.
but that's all right. We out here. We out here with these glasses. Now,
Right.
Ceatetra, I know you have some good information. What kind of information can you continue to help provide? So, in your opinion, what are the key signs that someone is ready to open a high yield savings account, and what are the steps they should take?
Well, some signs that someone is ready for a high yield savings account, like if you have a steady emergency fund established. If you already have an emergency fund established, then a high yield savings account is a great place to store it. It's going to build interest and your money's going to be safe. If you have a consistent savings habit, then a high yield savings account definitely might be for you. Let's see here. If you're consistently saving a portion of your income each month, then yes, you are saving consistently. If you have low risk tolerance, when I say low risk tolerance, what I mean is if you prefer to keep your money in a low risk environment rather
Mm-hmm.
than investing like in stocks and things like that, then a high yield savings account is definitely for you because your money is going to be safe. Like we mentioned earlier, FDIC insured. So your money is going to be there. It's going to be safe. It's still going to be accruing your APY. And if you are a goal oriented saver, like for example, if you have a goal in mind, like you're saving for a vacation, you're saving for a down payment for a car, for a home, things of that nature, then a high yield savings account is definitely for you. And
Mm-hmm.
then someone that doesn't necessarily need to access. I mean, you want to be able to have access to your money, but you don't want to be constantly pulling from it. You don't want to
Exactly.
have a high yield savings and you're getting money from it weekly. You know what I mean? You want
Mm-hmm.
to keep that down so that way your money can sit there and accrue and grow that interest so you can get that money. So
Mm-hmm.
if you follow under either of those categories, then a high yield savings account definitely might be for you. Um, so you just definitely want to make sure that you are, I guess, taking a real look at your financial situation before you jump into something like this. Is this something that's really feasible for you? Are you going to be able to put that money aside and let it sit there? If you think that you can, again, please get with myself, Nicci, Shantella. We would love to help you get set up with a high yield savings account.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am.
We
Yes,
ready when
ma'am.
you're ready.
Yes, we ready.
Right.
Now, Miss Nicci, Miss
Yes,
Nicci. So I know that, you know, you get a lot of questions as well too, but can you
I
provide some
do.
additional tips, maybe some personal advice to our audience about high yield savings accounts?
Well, yes, I can, Miss Shabazz.
What are your habits?
Yes,
What are some
I
good
can
saving
actually.
strategies?
Well, the question that I get the most is like, well, not the most, but this is one of the questions that I do get. It's like, from my own experience, it's just like, the strategies and habits, right? So what that consists of, like, you want to set some clear goals, like define specific archivable goals, like building an emergency fund or saving for a down payment.
Hmm.
Also, you want to automate savings. You want to set up regular transfer from, your primary account to your high yield savings account. And then also you want to take advantage of compound interest. Like keep
Mm.
funds in an account for longer periods to maximize the compound interest. That's something like, what the teacher was talking about earlier, you know? Also you want to monitor and adjust, like regular review your budget and adjust your savings amount of frequency as needed. So that's like, that's still like another part of withdrawing, and you want to actually avoid of withdrawing like unnecessary withdrawals as well. Um, that's like, that actually plays hand in hand. So like you want to actually treat your high yield savings account as a separate hands off fund. So you don't want to keep pulling from it, you know what I mean? Because why is it a savings account if that's what you're actually using it for?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also consider a savings challenge. And what I mean by that is try a 52-week savings challenge, where you can save money. Save an amount of equal to the number of the weeks. You know what I'm saying? So if you got, say, like if you got $100 and you put it in week 2, you know what I'm saying? Or $50 and put it in week 3. Things of that nature. That's what I mean by 52-week savings challenge. Just like I don't know if anybody ever seen it, like when you go on I had one on Amazon and they had this wooden block, but you had this wipe away type of board where they actually have like the numbers of the week all the way up until I think about the 1,000th day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're actually saving. This person actually saved $10,000 in that block. They can actually open up the block and everything, you know what I'm saying? And you save money, but this is something like that, you know what I mean? So you don't want to keep pulling away from your savings account if that's the purpose of the savings account. You don't want to keep pulling from it. And then lastly, you want to leverage your savings account for short-term goals. Say like use the account for short-term goals, like saving for a car or a vacation, like
Right.
what Miss Shantella was saying, like the stocks and bonds. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with it. But you want to actually keep up some healthy habits and strategies along the way when dealing with the high yield savings account. So that's what I got.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna look in the audience right now to see if we have any questions as well. Do y'all have any questions, or do anybody have any questions? But I see Miss Gina did. She had
Yes.
a question. Do they actually offer Zelle?
Yes, they
Yes, they
do.
do.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they do.
do.
They actually offer Zelle
Well,
and
specifically,
or
SoFi
overdraft protection.
offers Zelle. Yeah, it
Yes.
depends
So
on the
far,
account. Okay,
if you
Mm-hmm.
so
said if
we
you
can't
do have
say
a
all of
oh, I'm so go ahead. I'm so
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
So I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ceateetra.
Oh, I was just going to say that they do offer sale, and once you set up your direct deposit, then at that point, after that, then the Zelle is available.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Okay. Yes. And what
Yes, I
about the
definitely.
overdraft protection?
Yes, they do offer overdraft protection as well. Like we mentioned, this is not every high yield savings account. This applies to particular ones. We know the one with SoFi, they do offer overdraft protection. I believe on that negative balance is up to $50, but it varies from account to account because it also depends on how much you've been keeping
Have
in
in
your
there.
accounts as well. Right. And then you can also set it up where your savings account covers your checking. So automatically you'll transfer money over if your checking is getting low, if you
Right.
set up that feature. So it's just some of the same features that you do experience with your standard bank account, like a Chase, a Bank of America, a Fifth Third, and so on. It's just, it's an online account. And I think also another question in there. Do you see another one, Nicci?
Yes, I do. I see another one. Kiera Young actually asks, "Why is online banking good? And if you can't really get to it."
Well, like we mentioned earlier,
Hmm.
you can. It's an online, so you can actually get access to it anytime you want to. You can download
Yes.
the app. You can check what's going on in your account. and you have access. Well, I know with SoFi, you have access to over 55,000 ATMs nationwide, right? So it's just like if you have a standard bank, there's not a Fifth Third in every location, in every state, in every city. There's not a Chase in every, well, I don't know about Chase because Chase is literally everywhere. It's not in
Look,
every single city.
we got SoFi.
Mhm.
You
You
do
have
get a
So
debit
access.
card with SoFi, so you can get access to ATMs and withdraw money. It's just making sure you're checking to see which account suits your needs, right? If
Right.
you
mhm.
are looking for a savings account and your primary focus is savings, you might not want to be able to have such easy access to that money
That
because
part.
you might spend it. It's a
Right.
savings account, not a
You got
checking
to be
account.
disciplined.
Exactly, exactly. So just want to put that out there. If you're doing your primary goal is savings, we'll try to make sure you don't touch the money as much. If you're
Exactly.
taking advantage of our promo where we're doing checking and savings through SoFi, definitely you have accessibility to a lot of different locations if you want to get cash. But the world we live in now is Zelle, is Venmo. You're digitally transferring money. Cash is kind of making its way to the back of the line now, and more so it's more digital products and more of internet-based tools that people are utilizing in order to pay money, automatic payments.
Exactly.
So right now I don't see a downside to it. It's trying to pretty much what I'm trying to put out there. It
Yeah.
operates just like a standard bank account.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. And if people can put their
Well,
faith in Cash App and Chime, then why not in SoFi?
Exactly. Hello.
oh, Eileen. Hey, Eileen. Good morning, Queen. So she
Morning,
says, I
Queen.
pay my bills with them. Hey, look. And she
Yeah.
said, I think she also mentioned she loves SoFi. So Eileen already has a SoFi account. Testimony right there.
See,
We did not
testimony,
pull up
right?
to this. She had a SoFi account before we even did this live. Okay. So this is
Exactly.
not
So it
this is not
does
paid
work.
promotion, people. Not
Yes.
we did
Hello.
not bribe Eileen. So, just reporting good information to those who might be seeking where their next step is when it comes to building up a financial legacy and what they want to do as far as savings, investments, and whatnot. We're not saying don't buy the CDs. We're not saying don't invest in the stock market. We're just saying if you just want to get your feet wet and you want to be able to earn more interest on your money without necessarily taking a deep dive into certain things where you aren't able to access your money, so it's not available as it is in a standard savings account, then look into some of these high yield options. You can't go wrong with it as long as you do your research. And like
Right.
Ceateetra said, read. Just read.
Yeah. We're just offering alternatives.
Yes, yes. So
Absolutely.
so now that
That's good. Go ahead, Queen.
oh, I'm just like look, I'm just like seeing if there was like any more questions out there before we start wrapping it up. But oh,
No
Missy
more.
Lang said you
Eileen
can transfer
says,
money to your
yeah.
Chase or other bank accounts, and it just takes a couple of days. So hey, Mr. Lane, look, she giving us some testimony tea,
Thank you,
y'all.
Miss
She giving us some
Elaine.
testimony
Yes.
tea.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Elaine.
Thank you,
See?
Missy Lane. Well, Lean, I'm sorry, Mr.
Eileen,
Lean.
yes.
I don't want to mess
Oh,
We're
up
gonna
her
get it right.
name.
Miss Eileen give you
Look,
the
let me get
tea.
it
We're gonna
right.
we
excuse
Yes,
might
me,
have to
Mr.
Miss
bring Eileen
Lean.
Eileen.
on as a tips and tea queen.
Yes. And Miss Eileen, she's
Drop
a,
us
Right.
a
I don't
tip.
want to
isn't
mess up.
she?
Right. Huh?
I said, Miss Eileen, she's a banker, right, Shantella? I think I
She used
remember
to
you
work
saying that.
together at in hospitality. She's a realtor. Eileen is a lot. She's all things. We bring you on,
Oh,
Eileen, because she can also drop some good tips on the real estate side as well too. So
oh
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
have
awesome.
to set something
Awesome.
up and bring you on, Queen.
Yes, Miss Eileen,
Oh,
special guest.
Yes.
another thing with SoFi, I want to say, because people also think that transferring money into a high yield savings account may be difficult as well. It's not. You can definitely, just like a standard transfer from banking center to banking center, it's the same thing. It might take you a couple days, but they also do have instant cash access. So if you have a debit card and you just want to go ahead and transfer money from your debit card into this high yield savings account,
Mhm.
onto the high yield checking account,
Fast
it's
go.
instant. It shows up within a couple minutes. That's what I did when I set up my SoFi account. I transferred from my standard bank, and then it was there within 2-3 minutes. It showed up into the checking account. So what's your excuse? I don't see none.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's excuse. We're waiting. No.
Hello. Right.
Okay, I'm gonna be
I'll
quiet
see
now.
you.
Do we have any? So no more questions, ladies?
No
I
more
guess
questions.
no.
All
We
right. Well, I
gotta
guess
go.
we'll wrap.
So teacher got things to do.
No. Well, I guess we'll wrap up from here. So in closing today, we discussed the importance of a high yield savings account, a high yield savings account versus a traditional savings account, and if a high yield savings account is right for you. And so for everyone that has stayed on and listened, if you drop your email address in our chat, or you can get with either of us personally, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, we are giving away $1,000 in grocery savings. And as always, we definitely thank you for tuning in this Tuesday. And let's see here. Always remember to like, follow, and share. And you can always check out our Heavy Impact Facebook page for more tips. And if you are watching the live, drop a 1 in the chat. And if you catch the replay, drop a 2. And let's see here. Let me make sure am I forgetting anything? Am I leaving anything out, Queens? What are we
Actually,
talking about
no.
next week? Yes, the teaser for next week.
Yeah, the tease for next week. What we have for these ladies, or for these ladies and gentlemen, may I add,
Right.
for next week.
I'll call too. So we're going to talk about what is fintech. So we get that a lot. What is fintech? What is financial technology? So we're going to actually do a good breakdown of what that is and how that's applying in our society today. Because as all of you are noticing, a lot of things are becoming a lot more digital. A lot of things are becoming online access only. Even if you've been through the self-checkout at Walmart, this is one of the favorite lines from our group. You've been in self-checkout at Walmart, you've been experiencing fintech. So fintech is literally all around us. It's all encompassing nowadays. Unless you're living off-grid in the country and some of this farmland that's behind my house back here, you've been experiencing fintech. Yeah.
Yes.
So
everybody is definitely exposed.
So we're gonna give you a breakdown of what that is and what are some of the tools, products, and services that are related to fintech, especially that we offer here through Nove and through our personal businesses as well. So stay tuned next week, everybody. Come through, come hang out with the queen.
Yes, come through for the gems.
Yes. Make sure y'all come, and actually thank y'all for actually supporting us as well, for coming on. Because I mean, without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. So thank you guys for actually showing y'all support. And we are greatly appreciated, and thank y'all.
Yes, and as always, everyone have a happy, blessed Tuesday and have a blessed week. Remember, put God first, and everything else is gonna fall into place.
Yes, and also
many blessings.
And also, you don't want to forget. Now, this is going to be my ending game when we get off this live. Live life with a purpose, on purpose. Look, deuces.
Yes, deuces, everybody. Everybody have a great week.
Yes.
See you next week.
Bye. See you next week.